Good morning, and welcome to Taria J. Speaks Tranquility session. Before we begin, let's do some deep breathing. And while we are breathing, let's purge ourselves of any sort of negative energy that we have allowed to consume us. Remember to breathe from your diaphragm, nice and slow, in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Continue to breathe as I give you some further instructions on your breathing. Just remember to breathe from your diaphragm and make sure as you're blowing out those nice long breaths, extend your breathing to the very tips of your fingers and to the very tips of your toes as you feel that toxic energy being released from your body. Continue to breathe. Nice and slow. Keep breathing. One last breath. Good job. Today's word of the day for this session will be growth. Before we go into what growth means to us, just remember to keep your breathing normal and to focus on the rhythm of your heart. Let your mind be free as we encounter this tranquility experience. The definition of growth is the process of increasing in physical size. I will repeat this. The definition of growth is the process of increasing in physical size. What does that mean to us? Let's just take a second to reflect and understand what has been communicated to you as you think about what the meaning of growth is to you. While we reflect, let's continue to breathe nice and deep. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, let's relax. Focus on the sound of my voice and remain focused while we continue to explore the word growth. The increasing in physical size. We live in a very physical world. Everything is to be seen, to be touched. Everything is tangible. When something cannot grow, does that mean that it doesn't have the ability to grow? Or that it hasn't been given the opportunity to grow? Sometimes we mentally put up roadblocks and we become our biggest barrier for seeing things in another dimension. We are so focused on the small things that we don't see the potential of growth and the potential for something to be a much bigger thing. In a positive light, when we think about the word growth, we think about change, we think about extension, we think about increase. Being a spiritual being in a natural world, we have to understand that growth is a blessing. Choose the path that will allow you to grow. No one spirit should be stagnant. We have to put ourselves in a position to be promoted and extended in this physical world. We must surround ourselves with people who will feed us mentally, spiritually, physically. You think about life forms, when you think about life as a whole, when you plant a seed into the soil and you begin to nurture and feed and water that seed, it begins to plant roots into the soil so that it can be firmly based in a solid foundation. In that foundation, there's little nutrients and resources in that foundation. And that soil, that plant has everything that it needs. You feed it sunlight. You feed that seed water, good air, everything that it needs to grow. Sometimes a seed can outgrow its foundation. So maybe where you have your roots planted and firmly based, you may need to expand. Otherwise, you will not grow. If you lose one of those important resources, you will not grow. You cannot survive without sunlight, and air, and water. But do not be overly consumed by the greed that we see in today's society. For if you have too much water, too much sun exposure, too much fresh air, you can surely die. We have to learn to feed ourselves, to find those things that can motivate and help us grow in this natural world. Be encouraged and be uplifted on this day as you begin to start your week and encounter many different people and many different experiences. Be sure to only observe and hold on to the things that can feed you so that you can grow. Do not be selfish. Be sure to pour into others and feed others so that they too may grow. Thank you all for your time, and thank you for sharing this space with me. I hope you have a blessed day, and please come back to visit me next week for another calming experience. The voice you have heard today is that of Taria J.